I want to start with something honest. When people first hear about gratitude as a psychological practice, a lot of them roll their eyes a little. It sounds like something off a motivational poster. Write 3 good things, feel better, simple. And I get that reaction. I really do. But here is the thing, the research behind it is not soft. It is not a feel good advice dressed up in science. The findings are specific, replicated, and the mechanisms behind them are genuinely interesting. So give this one a fair hearing because it might be the most practically useful thing this channel has covered. Psychologist Robert Emmons at UC Davis has spent decades specifically studying gratitude, what it does to the brain, the body, and how people experience their own lives. His research and follow-up work by Martin Seligman, one of the founders of positive psychology, consistently found something significant. A deliberate, specific gratitude practice, not vague positive thinking, but a concrete act of identifying and writing down specific things you are genuinely grateful for, produces measurable changes in well-being, sleep quality, and even physical health markers over time. The mechanism connects directly to something we have covered before: negativity bias. Remember that the brain processes negative experiences more intensely and holds onto them longer than positive ones. Positive experiences pass through without sticking. Gratitude practice is essentially a deliberate intervention against that bias. By intentionally directing attention towards specific positive experiences and holding them long enough to process them, you are doing manually what the brain does automatically for negativity experience. You are giving positive experiences the processing time they would not get otherwise. Over time, with repetition, this changes the baseline. The brain that has been practicing noticing good things genuinely gets better at noticing them without being prompted. We adapt to good things very quickly. The new flat that felt exciting becomes just home within weeks. The promotion that felt significant becomes a new normal within months. The relationship that felt remarkable becomes the background of daily life. This is a hedonic adaptation, and it means that good things in your life are constantly being absorbed and neutralized by your baseline. Gratitude practice interrupts this absorption. It deliberately slows you down and asks you to actually notice what is already there, not what is missing, not what could be better, but what genuinely exists right now that did not have to. Here is the part I think matters most. Your experience of your life is not primarily determined by what happens to you. It is primarily determined by what you habitually pay attention to. Two people can have the same circumstances, the same job, the same relationship, and the same challenges, but have completely different experiences of their lives based on where their attention tends to go. Gratitude practice is not about pretending things are better than they are. It is about making sure the things that are genuinely good are actually getting registered, instead of being swallowed by a brain that is designed to focus on something negative. Let me be specific here, because the way most people try this does not actually work, and that is why they give up. The version that does not work is vague and generic, like, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for my health. These statements are true, but they are abstract. An abstract gratitude does not produce the same neural effect as a specific felt gratitude. The version that works is specific and sensory, not I'm grateful for my friends, but I'm grateful that Priya messaged me today just to check in. That meant something. Not I'm grateful for my health, but I'm grateful that I walked outside this morning and the air was cool, and for a few minutes nothing felt urgent. The specificity forces you to actually relive the moment, which is what creates the neural processing that makes the practice effective. Emmons recommended 3 specific things, 3 to 5 times per week rather than every single day. The research suggests daily practice can start to feel routine and lose its effect. Slightly less frequent means each time carries more genuine attention. One more thing, do it at the end of the day rather than the morning. The morning version tends to be anticipatory and abstract. The evening version is grounded in what actually happened, which makes specificity easier and the emotional resonance stronger. Give it 3 weeks of genuine specific practice, not as a test of whether it works, but as enough time for a habit to form before you evaluate it. 3 weeks of specific, consistent gratitude practice does something quiet but real. Your brain gets measurably better at noticing positive things in real time, not just when you sit down to write them. The practice trains a kind of attentional habit that starts operating throughout the day. Your sleep tends to improve. Emmons found this specifically. The brain that ends the day having processed good things enters sleep in a different state than one that ends on unresolved stress and unfinished business. And perhaps most importantly, your relationship with your own life shifts. Not because your life changed, but because you are finally seeing it fully, including the parts that were always there and always good, instead of through a lens that only magnifies what is missing. Gratitude is not a personality trait some people have and others don't. It is a practice, a skill, something that gets better the more you use it. And unlike most skills, it takes about 10 minutes a week.